On the evening of Wednesday, November 26, 2008, India's financial capital Mumbai came under sustained attack by 10 armed gunmen. The assailants targeted locations across the south of the city. In the 60 hours that followed, a real-life action drama unfolded on TV screens across the world. This was the first time that India had seen such well-coordinated attacks on such a wide scale. A month after the attack was over, the ramifications of the incident are still playing out in the region. I'm Divya Gopalan. In this special edition of 101 East, we look back at the Mumbai siege and ask, what made the world's largest democracy so vulnerable to attacks, and how are things going to change for India? In the aftermath of the Mumbai attack, India's largest city struggles to make sense of its latest tragedy, likened by many as India's 9/11. One of the most dramatic battles during the siege took place here at the Taj Hotel, the very symbol of Mumbai's wealth and success. Now, while the battle for the Taj is clearly over, for Mumbai and the rest of India, another struggle begins.
This attack has exposed the fault lines of Indian security as nothing ever has in the past. We as a nation stand naked.
It is new to Bombay, certainly. The policemen here didn't even expect an attack of this type.
But Mumbai is not new to major terror attacks. In 1993, a series of 13 explosions ripped through the city, killing more than 250 people and injuring hundreds more. It was believed the blasts were in revenge for the killing of Muslims in India. 10 years later, Mumbai was hit again by 2 blasts, including one near the Gateway of India. This attack claimed 46 lives. The next attack on Mumbai came in 2006, when 7 blasts on suburban trains killed more than 200 people. A Pakistan-based Islamic militant group, Lashkar-e-Taiba, is believed to be responsible for the latter 2 attacks. As the investigation into the 26/11 incident unfolds, once again a Pakistan link has emerged. Indian sources have revealed the 10 gunmen boarded a merchant vessel in Karachi before intercepting an Indian trawler Kuber on the high sea. November 26th, the day of the attacks, also happened to be the day of the England-India cricket match. So most people were indoors watching television when the attackers landed here in a rubber dinghy boat. Now, this is just 1 kilometer away from the heart of the city where the attacks took place. They landed here, laden with explosives, walked past these fishermen's houses and walked straight into the darkness of the night. One local resident in the fishing colony saw the attackers coming to shore.
They got rid of their jackets and left in the boat. And then they put rucksacks on their shoulders. They were carrying bags which looked quite heavy. They stopped there, chatted to one another, they shook hands, and then they did this.
Once on shore, the gunmen split into 4 groups. They took taxis from the waterfront to their targets across the city and planted bombs in the taxis, which exploded later. 2 gunmen headed for the central railway station. Footage captured by CCTV at the station showed them carrying AK-47 machine guns. The assailants opened fire indiscriminately, killing 54 people. Not even the police rushing to the scene were able to stop them.
I have witnessed the whole happened, and due to the lack of sophisticated weapons, we need that type of weapons. They have brought that sophisticated weapons. That policemen have not supplied that type of weapons. There is a main problem. If they have provided enough, they can face that problem.
From the railway station, the two gunmen went on a shooting rampage in a stolen car. They were intercepted by the police as their car approached the seafront. In the shootout that followed, one of the gunmen was killed, the other arrested. Meanwhile, gunfire was heard across the city at Leopold, a popular cafe in Colaba, the tourist hotspot in South Mumbai. The owner of the cafe was in the bar upstairs when terror struck.
I couldn't see what was happening. The only thing what I could see is, like when the bullets were being fired, I couldn't see the sparks. Because all of a sudden, the first thing was my customers, when they ducked, even I ducked.
Everybody was in a state of panic.
Wasif Sayed, a shop owner, witnessed the shooting from his balcony overlooking the cafe.
I saw those two people coming this side and taking their positions and started firing indiscriminately here, and I saw a lot of people who actually came outside Leo's falling here.
The cafe manager was on duty that night.
When I saw that gunman, he just aimed at me with a haversack behind him and just aimed at me. So I just dodged myself. One of the bullets brushed it. I ran myself.
I thought I was watching a movie, Hollywood gangster movie, some sort of movie. It was really shocking. I never dreamt that something so wild would happen in Colaba. So wild,
But such wild scenes were repeated across Mumbai later that night, when gunfire and explosions ripped through two luxury hotels, the Taj Mahal and Oberoi Trident. The Taj Hotel, the city's most prestigious landmark, was emerging as one of the focal points of the crisis. As the Indian Army moved in, the first images of the battle were captured by TV crews.
All right, there you go. You heard a big blast outside right now inside the Taj Hotel.
The chaos also spread to Nariman House compound, a Jewish center nearby. There, the gunmen took several hostages, including the Israeli rabbi and his family. Puran Doshi, a jeweler who lives in the area, witnessed the shooting.
When I heard the shots, I came running down from here, and I saw one boy had fallen down already from here, and that is the first shots were fired from Nariman House from the terrace into this lane. As we entered the compound, a grenade was thrown on us. Immediately we realized that it's bad, it's very bad for us.
It quickly became clear that the attack had been meticulously planned and on a far larger scale than the city had ever seen. As dawn approached, with the siege continuing, questions were already being asked about the security apparatus.
You have the Indian Navy supposed to be guarding the high seas. You have the Coast Guard, which is supposed to be guarding the internal line. You're supposed to have a Marine Police. You're supposed to have the local police. You're supposed to have so many intelligence agencies working, keeping a watch here and there. But all these agencies, they fail comprehensively.
Yet the 26/11 attack was not the first time that the threat to Mumbai came by sea. In the 1993 bombing, which devastated the city, weapons were also transported by boat.
The entire consignment of RDX, the AK-47s, the ammunition, the grenades, everything came to the sea. In 1993 also there was a talk of beefing up security across the sea, but nobody bothered. Reports after reports were submitted. They just gathered dust.
And it seems the police weaponry too was gathering dust.
Mumbai police is saying that we do not have sufficient equipment to deal with terrorism. We have never dealt with the terrorism over there. We have got old World War II vintage .302 rifles with which we can't fight with AK-47. But the question is, who stopped you from acquiring this kind of sophisticated weapons?
But whatever was lacking in equipment, the commandos made up for with their tenacity and courage.
The boys did a wonderful job. It couldn't have been better. And I take my hats off to these boys who, without any information, without any intelligence, without knowing the layout of the target, went in almost blindfolded.
As darkness fell over the city, fighting continued into a second night. Several assailants were reported to have been killed during the ongoing gun battle. A spokesman for the Special Forces later made it clear that the attacks had been meticulously planned.
I understand that these terrorists were very well informed regarding the layout of the hotel. We found a rucksack which contained dry fruits for survival, large amount of ammunition, foreign money. They had dollars.
Early on Friday morning, the Indian National Security Guards stepped up its assault on Nariman House by airdropping troops on the roof of the building. By the evening, the third night since the attack began, the siege at Oberoi Trident and Nariman House were declared over. Puran Doshi was the first civilian to go into Nariman House in the aftermath.
The rabbi and his wife were lying in one corner. The two girls were tied and they were lying on the bed inside. There was another gentleman who was on the far end of the hall, and there was another person lying here. Very badly mutilated bodies.
At the Taj Hotel, the battle continued until the next morning. Just before 9 a.m., with the last 3 gunmen shot dead, the attack was finally brought to an end. In the aftermath of the tragedy, mounting evidence also suggested a staggering intelligence failure. India's Central Intelligence Service claimed they sent warnings about an imminent attack on the Taj Hotel and about coastal security. The Mumbai police claimed there was no actionable intelligence. Many observers blame bureaucracy for the security blunder.
There is no single command structure. You have the intelligence bureau, you have the research and analysis wing. They are supposed to have different areas of operation. But then there is nothing to collate the information together, interpret the intelligence.
Under the Constitution of India, law and order, under which the terrorism also is clubbed in, crime, law and order, is a state subject. There is no federal force as it is. So that is why there was none. We kept on telling the leaders, but they never thought that, no, it is all right. Because Indians learn only when they are slapped. This has happened.
During the 3-day rampage that devastated Mumbai, nearly 200 people were killed and hundreds more were injured. But the end of the tragedy would signal increasing tensions across the region.